Baseball and Whatever with your host, Justin McAwee.
Because I was on campus and I had to appear like I was one of the cool kids, I would put the Star Wars book inside one of my textbooks so it looked like I was just studying for class.
All right, look, there's only one return, okay? And it ain't of the king, it's of the Jedi.
Vincent Francis Jankowitz IV.
I'm a glorified fact checker.
Last I checked, the most runs in a game wins.
Actually, I am a fact checker.
And Greg Probst.
If you look at most Bond fans movie rankings, they have Casino Royale and Majesties in their top two. For me, these actually rank in the bottom part of my list. I mean, I love them, but they don't compare to Diamond Cross Forever.
No, stop getting Bond wrong!
All right, everybody. Hello. You'd think after this many weeks of using StreamYard, I would finally remember to hit the right buttons at the right time. But anyway, thank you. Damn, we're off to a banging start right now, Vinny. If you have never tuned in, hi, I'm Justin. There's Vinny. Greg is on assignment, taking a little much-needed break, so we'll be seeing him shortly, hopefully, down the road. This week on Baseball and Whatever, episode 66. I can't believe we've made it to 66 episodes. I feel like I'm going to start repeating all my shitty stories, Vinny. I don't know about you.
You've already done that.
I already have, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Erica. We've been together for like almost 14 years. I just start telling a story, and she's like, yeah, I heard that one already. And this is a year and a half compared to 14 years. It's been a while, so.
I'm pretty sure that's just marriage and getting older, Justin.
Yeah, it might be.
I mean, now that you're a father too, that's part of your repertoire.
Well,
retelling the same story over and over and over.
I'm going to sit on my, start talking about my lawn to people and stuff like that. But no, anyway, hey everybody, happy almost Friday. If it is Friday when you're listening to this, happy Friday. Today's episode, we're going to talk baseball. We got plenty of Cubs, White Sox. We got our regularly scheduled who's hot and who's not in the MLB. We got a little Bears talk because they are still playing right now, if I'm not mistaken, against Seattle. Yep. Does that sound right? I know Justin Fields, I think, was 5 for 7 in his passing accuracy, I think. Yep. I could be wrong.
That was it. Yep.
He only played a handful. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. And then our topic for this week, we are going to try and count down or rank our favorite female musicians, bands, singers, groups, all the above. I don't know. I looked at the list that we have of our topics. Vinny, was this one of your ideas? Or was this a Greg idea? All right.
My idea.
So it's been a long time coming. So here we go. So I have been retinkering with my list. I actually, while I was running on the treadmill today, I had like a YouTube playlist of female rock bands and rock singers because I was trying to make sure I had my list settled. So I think I'm ready to go. But
I'm not shocked that you've been tinkering with your lineup.
I've been tinkering, yes. No ties this week though, Vinny.
Oh, shocking.
So, I know you're in luck. If you are listening to the first time, thank you for tuning in. You can find us a variety of ways. First of all, we have the video version of the podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/baseball and whatever. If you're also into Twitch, you can also find us at twitch.tv/baseball and whatever. You can find us on Twitter at baseball and what. I think we're almost up to 800 followers now, if I'm not mistaken. Close to it. I think like 760, 770. Yeah, you're working You're working your butt off over there, Vinny. You can also email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com, and you can find us on a variety of podcast apps, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, Anchor, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Amazon Music.
Friends?
Belly Up and Friends. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, this is all courtesy of our wonderful host and sponsor, Belly Up Sports. Check them out at bellyupsports.com, and you can now search the Belly Up and Friends podcast feed on any of your podcast apps of choice, and you will get all of their shows, including ours, on there as well. So don't just subscribe to our show. Subscribe to the Belly Up and Friends podcast stream as well. We would greatly appreciate it. Tell them Justin and Vinny sent you. They'll probably say who, and then,
Exactly.
Anyway, and before I forget, there's also the text and voicemail line is 1-913-808-3278. That number again is 1-913-808-FART. All right. We are on episode 66. So like always, we try and recount the famous, infamous, or just plain boring and dull athletes that wore the number 66 in Chicago sports. It's getting progressively harder and harder But here we go. Vinny, I'm going to start off with the Cubs because that is the only 66s I was able to remember. And I noticed that Greg wrote in on the Google Doc as well. He had the same two as me. We had Rafael Ortega, who is center fielder extraordinaire. He hasn't been playing as much lately, I've noticed, though. I think just
Too
because...
many tuplans on the base path.
Yes, not good. Not good.
No.
So, and then the other one from, I believe it was from the 2016 season, and I know Greg mentioned this one, and that is Minori Kawasaki.
Good job. You got the year and the player right.
Yes, I really liked him. I remember I think he only played like a handful of games with the Cubs. He was in Iowa for a while, but I know he was kind of I don't know if I'd call him a fan favorite, but he was definitely like a clubhouse favorite, it seemed.
I remember that.
And I know Greg mentioned in the Google Doc here that he was still fully suited in his uniform during the World Series in the dugout and celebrating on the field when they won. He is now still playing in Japan, by the way.
Interesting.
All right, White Sox.
I don't remember him being in his full uniform.
No, I don't remember that either. I just remember like whenever they wanted a good soundbite, they would go to him because he seemed like a fairly personable and funny guy, from what I remember. But yeah,
I just remember him in spring training, and like the players were going crazy for him.
Yeah.
So.
That season seems like such a long time ago now.
It does.
Ancient history. In terms of the White Sox, was there any other Cubs that I missed?
Rafael Dolis. 2011.
I want to say maybe he was a reliever. Could he have been a reliever maybe?
I'm going to say yes, he was a pitcher.
I don't remember anything about him, but I do remember
he's currently on the White Sox.
No way, really?
That was his last, it says team, White Sox, in the minors on the 7-day IL. So
okay.
Last
Greg,
pitched in the majors for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Nice. Okay, that's a deep cut. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Greg wrote in. He said the White Sox. He had Jose Ruiz, who I honestly don't know. Let's see, Michael Inoa and Yasiel Puig. During that time, I thought he would be a Sox. So Yasiel Puig. I was gonna say Yasiel Puig was never a White Sox, was he? No. Greg's throwing in. He's
doing that just to mess with me. He knows how much I don't like that guy.
I know you're not a fan. The bat licking really does a number for you, right? Not a fan.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that Greg had for the White Sox. I don't know. Are there any others for the White Sox?
Chris Volstad wore it 2017.
I remember him being a Marlin and being horrible.
He was with the Cubs too. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was going to be some good reclamation project, and no.
Yeah, because I want to say not that wins and losses are the end all be all for pitchers, but I remember he was like 5-16 with the Marlins, and then the Cubs got him. So
yeah, he was bad with the Cubs too. Yeah, not good. Ray Olmedo.
Okay, Olmedo maybe. I think I remember him.
Shane Lindsay.
That does not ring a bell.
Mark Del Sandro.
No.
Mike Heathcott.
No.
1998.
No.
Gary Staley.
Nope.
And Bill Cox.
No.
Real
strong, manly man there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's it? All right, so we got White Sox. I know we talked about before the show. We got no Bulls, no Blackhawks. You said there was one Bear, I believe?
One Bear. Retired number.
Okay. Really?
Hall of Famer. Yep.
Should I know this?
You should. No, you shouldn't know this. This guy played in 1940 to 1952. It is none other than Bulldog Turner. He played center, tackle, linebacker, and guard. He was a jack of all trades.
Sounds like it. Good for him.
Yeah.
And his number's retired?
Yeah. He wore,
really?
Yeah. Only guy to wear it for the Bears. Yeah. Hall of Famer, 4-time Pro Bowl, 7-time All-Pro.
I have never even heard him referenced like in passing. You know what I mean?
4-time NFL champ. Yeah, I've never heard of this guy. I wonder if Pretzel Vince has heard of him. But
if Pretzel Vince is listening, he's gonna have to write in and tell us if
he's got eight interception. Or let's see, he finished his career with 17 interceptions, 2 touchdowns on defense, 5 fumble recoveries, 1 touchdown from a fumble recovery, and that's about as far as his stats go. So I'm sure he was a real bulldog on the field.
And that's
zing.
Must be how he got his nickname. All right. We have no text this week, but we did get a few YouTube comments. And, man, I tell you, Greg's not even making an appearance this week, and he's still doing work in the Google Docs. So good on him. Would you like me to read these YouTube comments, or would you like to read them, Vinny?
Go ahead.
All right. So from YouTube, we have user R. Beneski. Previously, when MLB The Show 2022 came out, Greg posted a bunch of videos from his PS5. R. Beneski asks here, are the City Connect jerseys available in franchise off the bat, or do you have to unlock them? And Greg responded, all City Connects are available in franchise right away. No need to unlock them. The Field of Dreams uniforms for the Cubs and Reds are also available. That is true. The last time I had some time, I actually did the Cubs and Reds game at the Field of Dreams Stadium for like a half an hour before I went to bed last week. So
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you win?
No.
Oh.
I didn't say I'm good at the game. I just play it.
Okay.
Yeah, the pitching. I love the pitching, but I'm horrible at it, the way they got it set it up. And then we also have another YouTuber, Danielle Tabor, on MLB The Show. He said that they just added Under Armour catching gear the other day. Just need the Force 3 and Mizuno catching gear, as well as the Nakona fielding gloves. I'll be honest, to me, that is all a bunch of gibberish. But thankfully, Greg wrote in and said, yes, it took them long enough. Check carefully, though. You will notice the UA4 helmet and the chest protector are still unedible color-wise. Under Armour shin guards you can edit. The hack for this, select a different piece of branded equipment, customize it to your liking, switch it back to Under Armour gear, and the colors will be updated. Leave it to San Diego Studios to only get shit half right. Force 3 is a must, has to be in 23, or San Diego Studios building might as well burn to the ground with Ramon Russell inside. I think that's the head producer. I'm fine if Mizuno replaced Marucci. Nakono gloves are beautiful, and I would definitely love to see them. You know, I have never met someone more passionate about baseball, and in particular MLB The Show, than Greg Probst. So, Greg, thank you. All right. I got a hot take, Vinny, and this kind of stemmed from your Twitter comment, so let's go to the hot takes.
All right.
Greg's hot takes.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on!
Hell yeah.
All right, want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts!
All right. If I'm not mistaken, Vinny, I believe it. God, the days are all starting to blur together. I believe it was this afternoon. You retweeted or quote tweeted somebody that was asking about movies that you just don't get. Was that the gist of it?
Yes. It wasn't don't get, but you think are over. They're critically acclaimed movies that you think are overrated.
Yes. And okay, so this is perfect. And I saw you mentioned Avatar, which I am gonna hop on the Avatar hate train here. Good. I saw that movie once. I think someone else tweeted it's Pocahontas in 3D, pretty much.
It's your cousin.
Yeah, my cousin that I don't know how he has my last name. But anyway, yeah, he tweeted that, yeah, it's really just it's Pocahontas in like a highly futuristic setting. That movie's not good. It's not. I don't understand. I really think the hype for that movie was when the whole 3D thing was going strong. And I'm already sounding like an old man. I am so glad that fad died because I hated having to wear those goggles. I got nothing out of 3D movies. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I'm glad that they got rid of the glasses. Although they still do 3D, don't they?
They occasionally, I think they do. Like maybe for certain types of movies that are more, I don't know, apropos of that, I guess. But yeah, I hated it. It always gave me a headache too. And it was so damn expensive to pay for the three. Granted, it's like $2-3 more, but you know,
I mean, you're still paying what, $15 to go see a movie.
Yeah, and then you got to get popcorn and treats, and you know, back in my day, movie theaters were a nickel. So I'm gonna hop on that. Avatar is horrible, and then Avatar 2 is coming out. I guess it got delayed till next year. And then I looked up on IMDb. They are filming and in post-production for Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5. So who
They're making 5 of those?
5 of them, yes. Who greenlit 2? Okay, fine. You want to do 2, that's fine. You could even justify 3, like a Back to the Future thing where they film 2 and 3 together and then they release them, you know. or like was it the last Harry Potter movie or whatever?
Yep.
But 3, 4, and 5, like, doesn't anyone look at this and be like, the reason this made $1 billion was because of 3D, and we're not going to have that to fall back on. The people are going to see these movies are awful, right? Like,
yeah.
And James Cameron is so gung-ho about it.
Wait for the second one to, I mean, unless they fell in love with the script or something, it's going to be somewhat amazing. But I mean, you would think they would be like, well, maybe let's wait and see after, green light, maybe 2 and maybe 3 and just kind of wait and see. But I guess because it made so much money the first time around, they just kind of decided to go ahead and say, you can make all 5. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing I was reading about it, because I fell into like a rabbit hole of Avatar after I saw your stuff.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know. It was a nightmare for like the 3 minutes I gave to it. But supposedly Sigourney Weaver, who was in the first movie, who I had to be reminded, she plays like one of the scientists, and then she has like her own, whatever the blue, was it the Na'vi? Why do I remember that? That's really depressing.
She had like come out of her stomach in this one?
Close. That's Avatar 2, I believe. Avatars, okay. Sorry. That's the sequel. But supposedly she died in the first one, which I have no recollection of her dying in it. I just remember her character.
I don't even remember her in it.
But they cast her again, and she's playing a totally different character. It's like, how do you get away with doing that? Like, she died, and now you're going to bring her on, and she's just going to play another character, and no one's going to bat an eye. Like, that just seems so stupid. I mean,
we will, Justin.
I know.
Boo hockey.
You're right. So I don't know. I saw that. Greg also chimed in on our Google Doc. He said he agrees. He seconds this. James Cameron and Avatar are dumb. And don't get me wrong, James Cameron did Terminator. I love Terminator. James Cameron also did Titanic. I don't like that movie at all. But
you don't like Titanic?
I like the second half when it's actually a movie about the Titanic sinking and not a love story. The first half I could care less about. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's not a great movie. I mean, it's
no.
Okay. Again, it's one of those movies that kind of rides more on the special effects than the story of it.
Yeah. I just remember.
She's just a liar, isn't she?
She is. She made all of them go down there for what? And then she throws the necklace away. What the hell?
Right?
It's bullshit.
It is.
Yeah, that movie was. I remember people were losing their mind when that came out. I think I was in 6th grade, and. I remember going to like Blockbuster and it was 2 VHSs. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And it wasn't that great, at least from my recollection. But anyway, I will still argue there was room on that door for Jack. Anyway, let's move on, though. There was. Thank you. Before we get to the actual sports talk, we'd like to thank our continuous partner, In the Clutch, for joining up here with us on Baseball and Whatever. In the Clutch is an awesome sports apparel company that is known for their licensed MLB, Negro League, and MLS apparel, along with great shirts to rep your favorite retro hockey, baseball, and football teams. Even better, if you head to intheclutch.com right now, and at checkout, you can use promo code BASEBALLANDWHAT to get 10% off your order. How awesome is that? So once again, head to intheclutch.com, pick out a shirt that you like, add the promo code BASEBALLANDWHAT, all one word, and you will get 10% off your order. Thanks again to the ladies and gents over at In the Clutch. We appreciate it. All right, let's get to the baseball stuff.
Baseball.
Welcome back to Major League Baseball. Sort of.
Taking a look at Chicago's 2 favorite teams and other happenings around the MLB.
All right, I feel for White Sox fans. Let's start with the White Sox talk. I don't know if the White Sox are in it, if they're finally making their run, or if they're going to fall apart because I think they had five in a row? Does that sound right?
5 in a row. Yes.
5 in a row. They had that amazing game the other night. I even tuned in and was watching it. Not the other night. It was 2
nights ago.
2 nights ago. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is it." Like, Tony La Russa and Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams have been saying, just wait, when we get hot, watch out. I'm like, they actually knew what they were talking about. This is it. This is their moment. They're going to take it. Minnesota has fallen off the train or fallen off the tracks, whatever analogy I'm trying to use here. Cleveland's kind of wishy-washy. This is their moment. And then now they look like crap again.
2 losses.
2 losses.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where do you think they're at, Vinny?
They are who they are. As Denny Green would say, they are who we thought they were. They're a 500-ish team. they've been this way since the end of the All-Star game last year.
Yeah.
This is just kind of who they are. And yes, everybody was banging the drum that they won 5 straight, which is, that's great. They needed to do that, but it was against the Tigers. They won 3 straight against the Tigers.
Not
when
good.
you have Javi Baez swinging at pitches in the dirt or hitting pop-ups off of a bounce pitch. Did you see that one?
I did see that. It wasn't good. Poor Javi.
That's not anything to. I mean, yes, it was good, but as Greg said, you need to pay attention. How are they scoring runs? They weren't hitting home runs. That's what they should be doing. That's what you want to see. They really weren't hitting home runs. And yes, they had 2 nice wins against the Astros, but a broken clock is right twice a day.
It's true.
A blind squirrel finds a nut. They are in a 162 game season. It is 162, right?
Yes.
Unless the Cubs are playing the Brewers, and
then it's 163. Yeah.
Yeah. But in a 162 game season, you're gonna have games like that where you do happen to put it together and beat a good team. I mean, look at the Athletics did just sweep the Astros a month ago, so it happens. And then two straight losses. Yesterday it was a close one. Today wasn't even close at all. It was almost a football score. Maybe they were just honoring the Bears playing for the day, and they just wanted to give the fans a preview of what a football score is going to look like. That's what this team is. They added Elvis Andrus today.
Yes, I saw that.
And I saw people were excited about that was a good move. He's a career 80 OPS plus player.
Was he a free agent or was he on a waiver wire?
DFA'd.
DFA'd, okay.
He was DFA'd. His best years are behind him. I mean, he's a 1.2 WAR player, so he's better than a replacement player.
Yeah.
But does that really move the needle? Is he really gonna? He's got 8 home runs on the year. He's probably right in the middle of the pack on most of the players.
For the White Sox. Yeah. Well, and I remember his best days were in Texas, right? Isn't that kind of when he was at his best? Okay.
Yeah. That was 2020 was his last year with Texas.
I mean, that makes me think Tim Anderson's going to be out for a while, and Everyday Liori is on the injured list, I think, for 7 days. So maybe that's going to be longer. I don't know. And that's why, but man, I don't know. I saw some Sox fans online get really excited for that, and I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of like scraping the bottom of the barrel, if you ask me. But more power to them.
I don't get it, but I mean, whatever. Maybe they can squeeze what's left out of him. He put him in a playoff hunt, and guys start performing better when they have that opportunity to possibly play in October. So
that's true.
We'll see.
That's true.
Hopefully it does work out for him, but
it's
working out.
Greg wrote in, he said, "This is so predictable. He knew it. Yes, please add more bad baseball players to the team. Don't hate the move entirely. Just knew they would do this. Nothing personal, White Sox, but go fuck yourself." Man, poor Greg. He needs a win. We need a winning White Sox team for him because he needs it. He deserves it.
It's not going to happen with Tony.
Well, no, that's
you got
true.
the fans who are telling Tony what to do. Did you see?
Yeah,
that
I
one?
saw that. So one of the fans was yelling at Tony La Russa to make a certain move. Is that what happened? And then Tony did it.
Adam Engel for Eloy. Eloy was on second, and the fan told, "Hey, Tony, pinch run Engel there," and then Tony did. I don't think Tony could hear the guy, but
but it makes for a good story.
But the guy was close enough where maybe he could have if the stadium was silent and the guy was yelling. But yeah,
it's a possibility.
It is a possibility.
You never know. Yeah, I mean, I know you have on here Vinnie Parisi from Fansided said the Sox are not done trying to add and improve their roster, but I mean, I feel like no team should ever be done, right? Like, especially if you're in the playoff hunt, you should always be scouring that, who gets DFA'd and who's available. And I don't know.
Sox fans are thinking that they might call up Oscar Colas.
Yes, from Double-A, right?
Yeah, he just got struck out by was it DJ Hers from the Cubs?
From the Cubs minor leagues, yeah. I did
It took
see
him
that.
45 seconds or 49 seconds to strike him out. It wasn't on 3 pitches either.
Oh, well, hey, it's not. I'll take it. Our boy Glucose in the chat says Greg should become a Mariner fan. Yes, Glucose, I am still pulling for your Mariners. That is my second team at the moment. I'm still pulling for the Padres too, but they don't really need my help like I think the Mariners might down the road.
You're not pulling for the Cubs? You don't think the Cubs are going to make that wild card spot?
No. I saw a bet. Somebody put down, I think, $100 on a Cubs to win the World Series bet, and like the payout would have been like $100,000. Wow. I'm like, that's great, but you just threw $100 away because they are not making it. But what are you gonna do? Couple other White Sox tidbits. The other thing, I don't know if you saw this. I think it was last night, Vinny. A kid jumped onto the field at guaranteed rate and was running around on the field with the players. I've never seen a kid do that.
Was that Drake LaRoche?
It might have been. He's trying to get back. Or it's, who were the two goons, the father and son? Was it the Legoo brother? Legoo family?
Yeah.
Legee? Maybe it was a long-lost relative of them. But yeah, supposedly, I was reading different accounts of it online. And again, who knows how true these accounts are. But supposedly, somebody was sitting behind the parents, and the parents are the ones who planned this. They told the kid to go. Like, they wanted the publicity, supposedly. And if that's the case, being a parent now, that is the stupidest thing I think you could do, right? Like, why would you encourage your child to not only break the law? Now, granted, you might say, okay, of all the laws you're going to break, is that really that bad of one? No, it's a victimless crime besides wasting time, but what does that say to like everyone else? And then I saw the security like had him by the wrist, gently walking him to like wherever, the bowels of Guaranteed Rate Field are. I don't know, but I saw our buddy Herb Lawrence from CHGO. He's like, they should have tackled that little asshole and treated him like he was an adult, And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're not wrong. Like, in the parents, I feel like, are the ones that really, if it's true that they were, even if they weren't egging him on, like, you should be responsible for your kid, especially when it's a little kid. You know what I mean? I don't know. That just, it really, being a parent now, that really bugged me. I don't know about you, but it really.
Yeah, they were nice. I mean, there's no way they could have tackled that kid.
No, I know. Yeah, because if he would have gotten hurt, they would be in big trouble.
Right, yeah, and I mean, really, what danger does a kid pose to the players?
None.
None. This could potentially open it up for kids, being a danger to the players. We'll see, but I doubt the players are in much grave danger with the little kid running around on the field. But I think the parents should be banned for life for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption.
I think that would definitely. I mean, there's no point to it to waste everybody's time. You got to get the player off the field, and especially if they're egging it on and they're encouraging it. That's just ridiculous. Now you're going to have potentially more morons. There's plenty of moron parents out there.
Oh God, yeah.
Egg their kids on for that 15 minutes of fame, and post it to their TikToks or whatever, and try to get their likes and subscribes, and it's just ban the parents. Be hard on the parents.
Yeah.
The kid's dumb, but he's not. I don't think he's old enough to.
No, no. I mean, and like you said, like you need to make an example. Not like you said, not necessarily of the kid, but like if this goes unchallenged, on whatever, like then you're gonna have, like you said, there's plenty of idiot, stupid parents. There's plenty of idiot, stupid people in general. That will be like, oh, let's get our 15 minutes of fame, run around on the screen, or so we can get you on the screen and go run around. Yeah. I don't know. It's stupid, but I don't know. I'm the one sitting in a basement and they're at the game, I guess. I don't know. But, all right. Well, do you have any other White Sox stuff we need to get to?
I don't. No, it'll be interesting to see what happens against this, against the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
I won't say Cavaliers. That's the wrong Cleveland team. I knew it wasn't Indians. I'm like, oh, what Cleveland team are they now?
That Joakim Noah quote just reigned, like, you ever been to Cleveland? Who goes to Cleveland for fun? I don't know, but that's just me. I'm sure it's a lovely town. All right, let's get to the Cubs. Vinny, stop me if you've heard me say this before, but I'm starting to get a little optimistic for the Cubs next season. I don't know what's come over me lately, but like, Adrian Sampson had a quality start, 5 2/3. Keegan Thompson continues to shove, and Justin Steele not too bad. Had a rough outing. Was it his last outing or 2 outings ago that kind of got hit up a little bit? But I mean, I was looking back at his stat lines. Like, he's only had like 2 or 3 rough outings, and for a rookie, like or not a rookie, but for someone who's pretty young, that's not bad. That's not bad. Nope. So I'm pretty excited. The other thing I'm really excited for next season, if they keep him around, and I hope they do, is Franmil Reyes is killing it as a Cub. Holy cow. I am shocked. I know when they picked him up, everyone talked about how he was fairly good. You know, he had potential. He was decent a couple seasons ago in Cleveland, and he kind of lost his way. Since he's come to the Cubs, in 7 games, he has a hit in every game. He's hitting 367 on base, and a 733 slugging with 2 homers, 3 doubles, 1 triple, 5 RBIs, and that's all done in 30 at-bats. So
impressive.
Small sample size, don't get me wrong, but I love it. Like, that's awesome. And I mean, I guess I don't know, besides DH, does he play any other position, or is that it? I want to say first base, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think he's registered as a first baseman, but yeah, he's a DH guy, and they'll keep him for 2 more years. They have him under control for 2 more years. So unless he bottoms out, he'll be back next year for sure.
So yeah, so like that was awesome. I thought it was really cool. They interviewed him. I think it was yesterday. They were asking him, you know how is he enjoying his time as a Cub, and he said, of course, yes. My confidence went from 20% to like over 120%. The way they treat me here in Chicago, the way they let me play, they just let me be me. It is special to be here. So, when that idea gets out, maybe that helps. It's different here, as the Wrigley Field motto is this season, or the Cubs motto is this season, slogan, whatever the hell you want to call it. But it made me happy. It made me really happy that, like, I can kind of see the gears starting to turn on what this team might be in the future. Now, if they let Contreras and Happ go, I feel like that automatically creates 2 more holes that you got to plug with prospects, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right to be optimistic. I'm always the optimistic one on this podcast.
I know, Mr. First Place in the division this year.
Yeah, that didn't.
I'm never going to let you live that one down.
That's okay. But I mean, there's a lot of negative stuff going on about, free agents aren't going to want to come here.
Right.
I never understood that. A lot of, Yu Darvish was saying a lot of positive things to Seiya Suzuki during the when they were trying to sign him. Just because they didn't sign the core and they traded him away doesn't mean that the Cubs treat their players like crap.
Yeah.
They offered them fair contracts. Their contracts were very similar to what the core ended up signing for. They traded him away all to playoff contending teams and in areas where they wanted to be. And for Javi wanting to play with Francisco Lindor, they traded him to play with his best friend. They did right by the players. I never understood the people that would hang on to that and say, well, the Cubs treat their players like crap because they didn't sign them. They didn't give them what they wanted. That doesn't mean they treat them like crap. It's a business. The players know that. And that's just what it is. The players understand that it's a business, that you don't come to agreement. It doesn't mean that, they hate you. Unfortunately, after the trades happen, there was a little bickering back and forth between Jed and Rizzo.
Sure.
That happens, but it wasn't anything really that bad and, damaging, I would say, to, the Cubs front office, but people wanted to look at that and they were hanging their hat on that. The players like it in Chicago. It's a good fan base. I'll say, there's always those,
goofy,
rotten apples. Yeah. In the bunch. But the players obviously like to play here. Jed's supposedly got a plan. You tell that to the players, you give them a good contract that they think is fair. They'll be here. They may have to overpay, and if the front office is willing to do that, then they'll do that. If they think the player's right, I don't care how much money the Cubs spend. I just want them to get the right players.
That's a great point.
They could have a bottom 20, payroll, but if they're winning the World Series, I don't care what the payroll is.
Like
I
Tampa.
want good players.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
but I want
that's a
good
great
players,
point.
and they shouldn't shy away from a big contract. They can afford it, but just get it right. That's all. Same thing with like the Bears. Just get it right. That's all I care. There's good players out there. Get them. It doesn't matter what it costs. Get them. But it also doesn't matter how much. They don't have to spend an astronomical amount if they don't need to, because obviously spending doesn't equate to winning. We know this in baseball. Look at the Yankees. Look at Texas. Look at Minnesota.
Texas is a prime example.
Yep.
I mean, look at all I remember us sitting here, me, you, and Greg sitting here when free agency finally opened up after the lockout, and it was like, holy cow, like, look at all these players they're signing, and millions they're just throwing around, and they're in the bottom of their division, and who knows what they're going to do, because now you have all these contracts who, clearly they're probably not that good, going forward. But I mean, for me, like, the thing that's getting me a little excited about the Cubs is, okay, honestly, I would be perfectly okay with moving Wisdom to first base and keeping him there. Granted, he's only hitting like 220, but he still gets on base, and he's a good corner power, infielder. You keep Madrigal has been incredible since he's come back. So I don't know if was he just really still not feeling it still when he came back, from his injury last year, and then he got hurt again, and that messed everything up. Nico Horner has been incredible at shortstop. Do you maybe move him? Do you get a shortstop and ask the shortstop to play third base next season, that you could fill that hole then at third? That's something I'm kind of curious about. Granted, I know there's also prospects that we could look at too, but Contreras, you got to figure out what to do with catcher. That would be a hole to plug. Right field, you got Suzuki. Center field, I really like Morel. Granted, he's kind of come back down to the mean a little bit. He's not as that first month he was incredible, and then I think the pitching kind of reacted to him a little bit, but yeah, he's still a decent player. I think he could be an everyday center fielder. I mean, he's a decent, either a first a leadoff or like an 8-9 guy once the lineup bats around. And then in left field, preferably, and I never thought I would say this, I hope they keep Ian Happ and let him play left field for the foreseeable future. So
that's shocking.
I know. Someone marked the tape that I actually said that. I know it almost pains me a little to say that, but it's how I'm feeling right now. So yeah, and then you look at the starting rotation. The starting rotation looks good. The bullpen. I mean, the bullpen is a fluky thing to begin with, but they usually have a decent bullpen for the most part, I feel like, or they can kind of plug in guys in general. So I mean, realistically, if they get the right guys, they need a third baseman, or they need to move someone to third base. I don't know if that's Horner, but I feel like the more you move Horner, and you've already moved him from second, I almost feel like just leave him be. But you talk to free agents, hey, you're a shortstop, would you mind moving to third? And I mean, if they do, I mean, it's not without precedent. I mean, Cal Ripken did it, Alex Rodriguez did it. It happens. I'm not equating anyone the Cubs get to Cal Ripken. I don't see that. Alex Rodriguez maybe because he's a bum, but had to slide that one in there.
Yeah, I think with if you're looking at the shortstops, Correa, Turner, you could probably move to second. Because I think he's playing second right now with the Dodgers.
I believe you're correct. Yeah.
And they got Dansby Swanson and Xander Bogaerts. Xander has already came out and said that he does not want to move from his position. I think that was kind of one of the things when they got Trevor Story is he did not want to move. So he's probably off the table unless you want to move Nico. Correa probably makes the most sense. Doesn't have a qualifying offer tied to him. He's already, I guess, I've heard a lot of people talk about how he would profile as a good third baseman down the road. So maybe you put him there. Maybe you let him play a couple years at shortstop and then end up moving him there. I don't know.
Could be.
And Dansby Swanson's the other guy. I don't know what he would profile as.
No, I don't know either.
Be willing to move. I don't know. Those are the four big ones. So we'll see. And then with catcher, I don't know how they view the catcher position. If they want somebody to manage the staff better, I think we talked about this on the podcast already. But a lot of the pitchers come out and they say that Kyle Hendricks likes working with Jan Gomes. He's not the first one. And I know that's been an issue kind of in the past with, Contreras' managing of the pitching staff hasn't been the best. I don't think anybody has an issue with him personally. I just think, what when he calls a game, it isn't as good as other catchers on the roster. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. They got some holes to fill. They could go out and get, if they let Ian Happ walk or they trade him, they could go out and get Aaron Judge. He's going to be available.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Frontline starter, so we'll see about that. I don't know who's available for pitching. I haven't looked at that yet.
No, we'll have to do another free agency show when the time comes around and do a deep dive on that. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm like, I've been finding myself watching a lot more Cubs games lately, just because they're kind of becoming a fun team, and you can kind of see where it's going a little bit. Where at the beginning of the season, I could not see anything, because you still had, Hayward playing every day and Schwindel playing every day, and second base was like a gaping hole because, Madrigal wasn't here. They were plugging people in left and right. We had the Andrelton Simmons of the world and the Jonathan VRs of the world, and all the above. Gosh. So which it's hard to think that that's how long ago that was. It's already that in the rearview mirror, thank God. But anyway, I don't know. I think that I got nothing else for the Cubs. You got anything else for the Cubs?
No, I don't.
All right, real quick. I only have two stories here for the what am I trying to say? For the MLB. This one, we talked about it before the show started. I don't know. I found this hilarious. Maybe I'm a sicko. The Dodgers television crew was at Milwaukee. They were playing the Brewers, and one of their reporters, I believe it was a radio reporter, came out and talked about how he wanted to go down Bernie Brewer's slide in Milwaukee, which I believe is called Bernie's Chalet. I did not know it had a proper name. Did you know that?
I didn't know that either. No, I just thought it was Bernie's Slide.
Bernie's Slide, yeah. Leave it to the Wisconsinites or the Milwaukeeans.
Class it up. It's still a slide.
It's still it's a yellow playground slide, is what it is.
Call it what you want. It's a slide.
But so he was all excited. They filmed him going down the slide, and let me play for you what happened when he went down the slide. So give me a second here. Let me load up this audio. The quality is not the best because I had to use certain means to do it, but here we go. So here is the radio reporter for the Dodgers going down Bernie Brewer's Chalet.
Holy crap! Holy crap! Holy crap! Holy crap!
Strike on Muncie. Oh no. Okay. First, I want to report that he's okay.
He was not okay.
Oh
no. He was not
during
okay.
The game?
That was during. Actually, I believe they let him go down prior to the game.
Okay.
Prior to the game.
They were call strike.
But they were calling. So they were calling the game, and then they said, "Oh, so and so wanted to go down the slide. Here's what it looked like when he went down the slide." And then they cut back to the game, and so that was, I think was it Max Muncy was up to bat or something like that. So he broke 2 bones in his right wrist and cracked 6 ribs when he tumbled and crashed into the padding at the end of the slide.
That's a shame.
Yeah, you could hear him screaming, holy crap," because that slide's pretty high up, and he was moving pretty fast. He was. So the best part, and if you can find this on Twitter or YouTube, is you got the broadcasters talking during the game. They cut to this footage of him going down the slide, back to the broadcasters laughing at him because he fell and hurt himself. And then he goes, "All right, we're going to check in with whatever the reporter's name was." They cut back to the reporter, and he's got his arm in a cast, and he's trying to do his interview. It was hysterical. I was dying laughing.
Great. It would have been better if it was Tom Brenneman doing the call.
That's
in the
Castellanos with a deep high fly ball. They're going to take my favorite thing in life away. That's a deep fly ball to center field. Oh, Tom Brenneman is a douche. I know he something about him too. When he left being a Cubs broadcaster, he was very anti-Cub for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what that was all about. But the only other thing that I had for the MLB is I saw this stat online. I believe it was somebody from CHGO posted this. Did you know, Vinny, Javi Baez is the only player in baseball history with 3 or more games where he went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts?
I did know that because I saw that same stat today.
Okay.
That is atrocious.
That is not good. And I love Javi. I love his demeanor. I love his attitude and how he's just trying to have a good time. But man, when he gets out of rhythm with his swing, like you said, he popped up a ball that hit the dirt, right? That bounced
before.
When he starts swinging away, it's bad. So I don't know.
He's not right now. He hasn't been really right all season. He had a stretch there where he had a pretty decent week, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's struggling. I don't know maybe it's the contract, trying to live up to the contract, trying to carry the Tigers because they aren't a good team right now. He's not the only one. No one else is really doing anything on that team either. So that's an ugly stat, but it doesn't really surprise me, I guess. He had a couple 5 strikeout games with the Cubs, too. I remember we were joking about the platinum sombrero and what comes after platinum, because there'd be some times where you'd think if
double platinum, I don't know.
Again,
I feel like we need to consult like a record producer. What record do you get after platinum? Diamond?
Exactly.
I don't know. Poor Javi. I love him. He was obviously, I know there's plenty of podcasts with me talking about I wish they would have kept him. Obviously, seeing the way the Cubs are going now with Horner, and then obviously Javi's trajectory too with Detroit. I'm glad that they went separate ways. It worked out in the end. So I got nothing else for the MLB. You got anything else?
That is it.
All right, then let's go to who's hot or who's hot and or who's not.
And now, folks, it's time for
Who's Hot?
So damn hot.
Oh, hot.
Because I'm a hot little potato right now.
And who's not?
I'm afraid that the conditioners left me cold.
Freezing my royal Rastafarian name off.
This guy sucks.
All right, that never gets old. All right, Vinny, this is your segment. Take it away.
Do you want to... Pretzel Vince chimed in there?
Oh, did he? Oh, I'm sorry. Pretzel Vince. Thank you, Pretzel Vince.
An old man's talking.
I'm glad you saw that. I had my screen flip back to the Google Doc. He says double platinum is the next record. So I suppose if Javi ever got a 0-for-6 strikeout game, that would be a double platinum strikeout.
Oof.
Yikes. Hey, you know what though? Those checks are still cashing. That's all that matters, right?
They sure are, and I wouldn't be too upset about it if I were him.
No, neither would I. But
okay, Justin.
Yeah, what do you got for me
this week? Hot or not hot and or not. Hot or not? Who for the White Sox was hot this past week? Hint: he plays in the infield.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna channel my inner Greg here, and I'm gonna go with his guy, Jose Abreu.
That is correct.
Jose Abreu is hot this week. He's slashing 480, 517, 480, 997 OPS, 1 RBI, a walk rate of 10.3, and a strikeout rate of 17.2, a BABIP of 571, and a weighted runs created plus of 187. Who was not hot this week? And again, he plays on the infield.
All right.
Nobody likes him.
Nobody likes him, or who like?
I shouldn't say nobody likes him. I should say that his replacement's probably coming.
Oh, all right. Well, if his replacement is coming, then I'm going to say Josh Harrison at second base.
That is correct.
Good job. Josh Harrison was not hot, although his stats weren't awful. He slashed 296, 321, slugged 296 for 617 OPS, 1 RBI, 3.6 walk percent, 10.7 strikeout rate, BABIP of 333, and a weighted runs created plus of 80. So not good, but I mean, it's not atrocious. We've seen worse on the podcast, so
yes. That's true. We have seen much worse.
That is hot or not for the White Sox. Now, Justin, who was hot this week?
All right, for the Cubs, I got to go with my guy, Franmil Reyes.
That is correct.
All right, 3 for 3.
Yes.
Look at that.
The Franimal. You are on fire right now, just like last week.
You know, what can I say? It's a gift.
The Franimal was on fire, as you previously alluded to. He slashed 364, 364, 864 slugging for 1.228 OPS. I don't know if there's been a Cub with 1,000 OPS in a week this year. I was trying to. It's been a while.
Yeah.
A lot of 900s, but they haven't had a good power hitter most of the season. Maybe Saga at the beginning of the year.
Right. Right.
He had 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 0 walk rate, and a 22.7 strikeout rate, a BABIP of 400, and a weighted runs created plus of 234. Justin, who was not hot this week?
All right, I'm gonna go with my gut because I believe he was also not. He was who's not last week. I believe it was Seiya Suzuki again.
Sorry, Justin.
Man, I love him, but he's not doing well. He's not doing well.
Yeah, he's not. He got worse this past week. He slashed 160, 250 on base percentage, 200 slugging for 450 OPS, 3 RBIs, a walk rate of 10.7%, so that's pretty decent, and a strikeout rate of 25%, not good. BABIP of 222 and a weighted runs created plus of 31, not good for poor Seiya.
No, and Glucose chimes in the chat. He says, glad Friendmeal is still in the MLB. He's such a huge dude and can mash homers. Yes, he is raking right now for the Cubs, so good for him.
Big guys in baseball are always fun, too.
Yeah, just
makes baseball
give me a John Kruk, a Mo Vaughn, I don't know who else is another
Rowdy Tellez.
Did you see Rowdy Tellez almost like murdered a child the other day by trying to catch a ball in foul territory? He landed right on top of him.
Oh, God.
And then the kid turns around after he walks away, and the kid's like, yeah! Like, he was so pumped that he almost got crushed by Rowdy Tellez.
No, I mean...
But, hey, badge of courage, badge of honor, I guess. I don't know.
Right? Yeah. You all had a famous player fall on him. Do you have a famous player fall
on
him?
No, I have not had a famous player. No, I have not.
Okay. Justin, do you want to continue your winning streak here and see if you can get hot or not for the MLB? I'm going to
say no, but you give me at least a team, maybe. All right, let's do it.
This guy I've never heard of, so... it's not going to be good.
Oh, good. I love my chances, yeah.
And he plays for Kansas City.
Oh, God. That's like the armpit of the MLB right now.
Right? Oh, man. That or the A's.
Yeah. At least the A's have cool uniforms. I don't know. I have no clue. You're going to have to give this one to me. I barely know anybody that plays for the Royals.
Vinnie Pasquantino. Yeah.
I feel like I want to do like a New York accent here, but I'm not going to do that. So
you should.
No, that's good. It's okay.
He slashed 500, 565, 1,000 for an OPS of 1.565, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 13% walk rate, and an 8.7% strikeout rate, a BABIP of 467, and a weighted runs created plus of 338. Now, Justin.
Yes.
Who was not hot this week? This guy plays on Cincinnati.
Joey Votto.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Joey Votto was not hot, and now he's also injured.
He's injured now, yeah.
Season-ending injury.
Which, if I played for the Reds, I'd be begging for a season-ending injury, too. So.
And now he's got more time to be on
Twitter
and everything. Yep. Joey Votto slashed 0.45 for an OPS of 45, a walk rate of 4.5%, and a strikeout rate of 22.7%, a BABIP of 0, and a weighted runs created plus of minus 96. Not good for poor
not
Joey
good at
Votto.
all. Not good at all.
But now he doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, he collect a paycheck and relax. You know?
Exactly.
But all right. Well, the Bears are playing tonight, and we still have some interesting updates to the Roquan Smith debacle. So let's get to some Bears talk.
Manures of the Midway, where the guys talk the pile of horse crap that is the Chicago Bears.
When you consider the other choices, manure is actually pretty refreshing.
I love that episode. All right. First of all, Vinny, I believe you added this. Do you want to discuss the latest update in the Roquan Smith saga? Because I feel like that's what it is at this point.
Yeah. So Roquan Smith, after we got done talking about it, he requested the trade on Instagram or on social media. During the past week since we last spoke, someone had been calling around the NFL to teams by the name of Saint Omni and trying to orchestrate trades on behalf of Roquan Smith. First of all, players can't do that. They can. I think they can see if maybe they can go out and maybe find a team that's interested, but they can't orchestrate trades. And you also can't do that if you're not a registered NFL agent.
Bingo.
Since Roquan Smith does not have an agent, this Mr. Saint Omni or Mrs. Saint Omni or Miss Saint Omni was calling around illegally, and the NFL actually had to step in and send out a notice to teams saying, do not take calls from this person because they are not a registered agent.
Well, yeah, and supposedly too, like the Bears, I heard, did not give him permission to seek his own trade, so he violated that too. Right?
Yeah, and that was kind of what I meant.
About needing,
Yeah, that you can't do that unless you have approval. But I at this point I'm like, you know what, Bears, trade him. Like this guy.
There's a couple.
This guy's just gonna be a problem down the road if they sign him too.
Yeah, I mean the problem is like I don't know. I mean like I've always assumed or thought he was a pretty good middle linebacker, but like everyone on that I read about online and listen to the radio, they're talking about like middle linebackers aren't really necessarily valued as much at this moment. So the fact that he wants a $100 million deal is kind of tough because does he, is he trying? He's trying to set the market, I would imagine, for middle linebackers. But I don't know. This whole Saint Omni thing gets really weird, and and then supposedly Dallas is interested now. So I don't know what you could get from Dallas. Do you just try and take? I'm assuming you just try and take picks, right? Like I don't think I don't know if you're bringing a player back in a trade, but
I mean, whatever's best. Again, do what's best.
I
don't care. Just do what's best.
I was kind of impressed with and I don't like Bears management usually at all, but I was kind of impressed that Ryan Poles came out and got ahead of this too, because if it was our buddy Ryan, what's Ryan? Who was our former
Ryan
GM?
Pace.
Ryan. If it was Ryan Pace, he'd be hiding, in the corner, not wanting to talk to anyone. So I at least give him that. But Pretzel Vince in the chat says Saint Omni has also represented in quotes 2 other players, and it did not turn out good for those 2 players. So I don't know. I thought I saw a picture of Saint Omni, and it looked really like Roquan, except he had glasses and like a Groucho Marx
I
mask
thought it was
on.
Tim Anderson.
Oh, jeez. So
he's calling from the airports.
He's calling from the airports. Yeah. And then it gets even weirder. Now Matt Forte has, shared his thoughts. He said the Bears are definitely cheap. They give guys a hard time. I don't know. I go back and I don't know what it means, like you said. And B, do I sometimes think Bears management is cheap? Yes. Do I like Bears management? No. Do I like Bears ownership? Hell no. But then you look at some of the contracts they shelled out, like for Khalil Mack and Julius Peppers, and I'm drawing a blank now just because I'm not as deep in the Bears history as you guys are. But
I don't believe I hate this adage, this belief that Bears management is cheap, ownership is cheap. I know that I've had arguments with Pretzel Vince on this. They're not cheap. That's an old mantra that the Bears are cheap. They're not anymore. They built a brand new facility at Lake Forest. Is that where they're at
Hallis Hall.
Hallis Hall's brand new facility, brand new training facility. They hire and fire coaches at will. And
unfortunately,
they don't get that right. I mean, they're not good. But they're not cheap anymore. And when players are calling management cheap, I don't get that. There's a salary cap. This isn't baseball.
Yeah.
Where you have you have a franchise tax that's a pseudo a ceiling, but they have a salary cap and a floor that they have to spend the money.
Right.
So saying they're cheap, I don't get that. They give guys a hard time. because they signed a big contract, they maybe rag on you a bit for that, for having money.
Sure.
I guess I don't know. What do you expect from an owner that probably drives a station wagon? The family
the family truckster.
Yeah, the Queen family truckster still from the 80s. Okay, they give guys a hard time. I'd be curious to know more about that.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Paying Roquan at this point, like I said, this whole thing is really weird. The Saint Omni thing, the Bears thinking talks are progressing, and then Roquan trying to flex and say, well, they're not meeting my demands, so I'm requesting a trade. Like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and who's to say at this point he signs a big contract 3 years into the 5-6 year deal, he wants more money. He's going to sit out and pull crap again like this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's going to pull Le'Veon Bell. Just, it's not worth it, man.
Thanks for your time. Good riddance,
Yeah, let him be someone else's problem if you can get by without him. So
yeah,
I mean, I know it creates a hole because he is a good player, but
sure,
for Ryan Poles' sake, do you really want that headache? Thinking, well, okay, I pay him what he wants. Now the next time he wants more money, he's gonna pull some weird. You don't know what he's gonna pull.
That's the thing. It's an unknown entity in general between the agent and what he's going to do, and it's just a weird, really and I totally get, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I totally get your contract is not guaranteed in the NFL. When you're close to a new contract, I get guys wanting to hold out a little bit and kind of move the contract talks up just in case they ever get hurt and they miss out on their one solid payday. I get that. Mm-hmm. But like you said, he's going to get this payday. Is there a chance that in 2 or 3 years when the market has reevaluated middle linebackers, that he's like, no, that's not good anymore. I want this again. And then it's like, all right, well, you got your big deal. We're done playing this game now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then it was weird. Colin Cowherd weighed in saying the Bears need to pay up, and this is your Steph Curry moment. Don't be the Golden State Warriors. Don't be the Bears. I don't even know where that. I heard that today, and I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about. I get the idea of trying to compare the Golden State Warriors to the Bears. I don't know. Steph Curry is a Hall of Famer in my book. Roquan is a decent middle linebacker. I don't know how they're comparable, but
I mean, I don't know how you compare the Warriors to the Bears. One's a successful franchise at this point, and one's not.
A joke. Yeah.
Colin Cowherd's an idiot anyways.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with that too. But on a positive note, the Bears are winning their second preseason game 27-3. Granted, it's against the Seattle Seahawks, who are going to be pretty bad this year as well.
Wait a minute. I've been told the Bears are going to be the worst team in the league, so
maybe they'll be second worst.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that somebody on ESPN reported that today, that they said, the Bears are going to be the worst team in the division because they got Matt Eberflus and didn't help Justin Fields out at all. It's another thing I'm just sick and tired of hearing about is how bad the Bears are going to be
at this point. If they're somewhat competitive for the first 2 or 3 quarters, great. I'm not. I have low expectations, and I mean, I have permanent low expectations.
Division, Justin, come on.
Yeah,
now.
okay, Vinny.
Believe.
I think there's a better chance that Detroit. No, Detroit's going to win the division before the Bears do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think about that. Yeah, they're better than Detroit.
Get how people are putting Detroit
No,
the
I
Bears.
know. No, not when they got Jason Goff as quarterback. Anyway, not Jason Goff. Yeah, Jason Goff. No,
who's Jared Goff?
Jason Goff. Jason Goff's
he's
Chicago Bulls pregame. Yeah, so I don't know. Good on the Bears for winning. It's preseason. Does it really matter? Who knows? But I heard Tevin Jenkins looked decent. That whole story. Who knows what's gonna happen there? But we shall see. You got any other Bears tidbits you want to share?
That's it.
All right. Well, it's time for some whatever.
Now it's time for whatever.
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 Whatever you want. Whatever I want.
Whatever, dude. Irrelevant.
Whatever, dude.
All right, we are ready. Vinny, would you like to take over whatever again? You did pretty good last week.
Sure, I'll take over.
All right, take it over, Vinny.
I can't do Greg's thing.
Greg's baseball and baseball and
whatever. Yeah,
he's just got this gravitas that he brings to the show. You know.
Yeah. Welcome to Whatever, the section that where we talk about anything that we decide to talk about. This week we are talking about top 5 women in music, I guess would be the right term. Could be a woman that's in a band, it could be a single artist, it could be just a woman that plays an instrument in music. So women in music. So okay, since it's just us two, Justin, do you want to go first, or do you need to tinker with your lineup?
No. My list is done. I finalized it earlier. Actually, no, I just finalized it about 30 seconds ago. But it is finalized because I realized I had one I forgot to add, so that just bumped everyone down one. But that's okay. All right, so my number 5. I believe this band is still around, but they haven't really had any hits since. Gosh, I want to say like maybe 2000, 2001, something like that is. And that is the lead singer of the band Garbage, Shirley Manson.
Oh.
Okay. I am a huge fan of Garbage. That's going to be the quote for this week.
Yep.
I am a huge fan of Garbage. The band, let me preface that by their albums, their music. I used to love playing it on the drums. And Shirley Manson's she's got an awesome sound to her voice. She rocks for a band that's, front person is a woman, and then it's 3 guys behind her playing, drums, bass, and electric guitar. She commands it. She's awesome. She's got a great, not demeanor, but great presence when I watch some of the live performances and stuff on YouTube. But they're a band. I wish, I don't know what they're up to lately, but I would love to hear a new Garbage album with her still frontlining the band. But that's my number 5, Shirley Manson of Garbage.
Nice. Okay, I remember the band Garbage. Didn't they have a song on Big Daddy?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. It was a cover of When I Grow Up. Yes, great. Okay. Great version too.
It was a good song. I remember
good memory.
that. Yep.
Very good.
I'm gonna have to. I totally forgot about that band. I remembered that because one of my friends growing up on the bus was a big Garbage fan, and not Trash, but the band.
I'm just picturing Danny DeVito as Frank from It's Always Sunny as the trash
man.
Just
it's all trash around the ring.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my number 5.
We have derailed here.
That's a given.
Yeah, we do that almost on every segment.
Yes.
But my number 5, I'm sticking kind of in the rock and roll category, and I'm going with Pat Benatar.
Ooh, Love is a Battlefield.
Yeah. Hit me with your best shot, Justin.
I will try. I don't know any other Pat Benatar songs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but she's got a couple more. I was listening to her today, but yeah, she rocked, and she kind of was the first woman I would say in rock and roll, or I guess one of the. I mean, she was definitely the first solo woman in rock and roll that I know of. We had Stevie Nicks and Ann Wilson from Heart, that were in rock and roll bands. Although what was Stevie Nicks? What was the band she was in?
Fleetwood Mac.
Yes, I hardly count them as rock and roll.
That was another one too that I had to go back and listen to a bunch of their music because, well, I won't preface anything, I won't spoil anything, but yeah, I had to do a deep dive on Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks this week. So
they're good, but it's I guess classic rock, but I mean, hardly. I don't really consider them rock too much.
No, I don't know what they are, but yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, there's some songs, but not many. Yeah.
No. Yeah. But they're considered classic rock. But yes, that was my number 5 was Pat Benatar.
Very nice. Good choice. I like that. I like that choice. All right. My number 4, you just mentioned them a few seconds ago. My number 4, this was a band I actually saw in concert. Oh God, probably about a decade ago now in Tinley Park here on the south side of Chicago. And that is Heart. Heart is just an incredible band. When we saw them about 10 years ago, it was, I might have talked about this before. It was Cheap Trick was the opener, and then Heart was the middle act, and then Journey was the headliner for that concert. And it wasn't Journey with Steve Perry. It was Journey with, I can't remember the replacement singer. He was phenomenal. All the credit in the world to him. But the takeaway from that concert was that Heart was the best performers out of that whole thing. They were incredible. In just so many songs that you realize you've heard so many times. I'm dating myself here, like on the oldie station or on the classic rock station. And then you realize it's like, oh, that's Heart. Like, oh, you know what I mean? And so for a band like that it really resonated with me. Barracuda is just an incredible song. Like when they started playing the guitar from that, like this, the stadium and the lawn seating went absolutely nuts. It was a really cool experience. But yeah, like I give them credit. I would imagine, the members of Heart have to be, I don't know, mid 60s. Late 60s at this point, and they put on a hell of a show. So props to them. But that's my number 4 is Heart. Yes,
that's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, they made my honorable mention.
Okay,
but yeah, Barracuda is a great song.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4, great 90s singer is Sheryl Crow.
Ooh, good choice.
Yep.
Good choice.
I mean, most of her songs, I immediately think of my childhood growing up 90s. All I Want to Do, Soak Up the Sun.
Yep.
If It Makes You Happy. I mean,
Great
Every Day
song.
is a Winding Road. I mean, they're all really good. And then, she also did the theme song to the Cars movie, and my son was like really into those.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
like
pretty
2 to
cool.
3. Yeah, she did the theme song to that Real Gone. It's kind of like a rocky. It's a good song. It's kind of got like a rock tune to it. Sheryl Crow, she's really good. Love a lot of her music. So number 4 for me.
Well, Vinny, I am so glad that was your number 4 because Sheryl Crow was my number 3.
Look at that.
Yeah, like you said, I'm more partial to the 90s Sheryl Crow. Once she did like Soak Up the Sun, I kind of lost interest a little bit. And then same thing with, didn't she do a song with Kid Rock and Uncle Kracker too, I think? I feel like she did.
Was that her? I think I know the slow song you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a slower one. And after that, I'm just kind of like, eh. And to be honest, I don't know what she's been up to. Like, I haven't heard any.
She did do that song.
Did she? Okay.
With Kid Rock, yeah.
Yeah, which, I mean, I know some people really liked it. I'm not a Kid Rock fan, but so that kind of turned me off of her songs for a little bit. And she kind of, I feel like her stuff in the 90s was not necessarily heavier, but a little bit more rockier, where her stuff in like the 2000s was much more like a little bit poppier, if that makes sense. Upbeat, yeah, which is fine. But I definitely liked the rockier stuff. But yeah, like All I Want to Do, I think is probably my favorite Sheryl Crow song. Not Only When It Rains. That's a garbage song. I'm losing my train of thought here. If It Makes You Happy, like you said, great song. A Change Would Do You Good. Also, great music video. Andy Dick is in that music video for some reason, as is Jeff Garlin and
Pat Hughes. My
There's
impression of Pat or John Garlin
Jeff Garlin doing Pat Hughes.
Jeff Garlin, yeah. Is that who you said? Jeff Garlin was in there?
Jeff Garlin, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He got kicked off the Goldbergs. Did you know that?
He did.
He's not. Yeah, he's not on the Goldbergs anymore. But yeah, so like she was awesome. I felt so bad when Lance Armstrong turned out to be a major tool, and I think like she helped take care of him when he had cancer, and then he bailed on her after he went into remission. Well, he sounds like he's just a tool in general, but But yeah, no, that's my number 3, Sheryl Crow. Yeah, she's just an awesome guitarist, great lyricist, and that's my number 3.
Nice. Well, my number 3 is kind of staying. Well, I guess probably more 80s. I guess, but it's Whitney Houston.
Wow!
I Want to Dance with Somebody. I love that song. Her cover. I'm a big Steve Winwood fan, but her cover of Higher Love is great. I really like that. Second to the original.
Yes.
And I Will Always Love You is just like one of those classic songs that, yes, I would, when I'm alone, I will try to sing that song. Yes. So Whitney Houston, great vocal talent. Songs.
I will be honest. I never had you pegged as a Whitney Houston fan. That's kind of interesting. Pretty cool.
Well, to give some history on why I like that song,
yes.
I Will Always Love You, is that was we would always go to my grandparents' house on Sunday nights, and my grandparents had a dog, and they would play that song, and the dog would sing along to it. Whenever she would hit the high notes, the dog would howl during the high notes and try to it would match the pitch to it.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's just something I always remember. So yes, I have
awesome.
a near and dear place for that song in my heart. So
very cool. Well, also your buddy Zach chimes in. He says he loves the podcast, waiting for his pepperoni pizza. Hope they don't mess it up again. Can always count on Zach to stop in.
Bring
and
up the sausage pizza.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's Chicago. Well, is he in Chicago? I don't know if he's in Chicago.
He's not.
Oh, then I don't know.
He's up in Wisconsin.
Oh, well, I don't know what's okay. All right. Well, I don't know where I was going with this, but anyway, my number 2. Don't necessarily love the solo career so much of this particular singer, but I love her band. Saw her band in concert, and that is Gwen Stefani of No Doubt.
Okay, nice.
I love No Doubt. I have most of their albums, I would imagine. Saw them in concert. They put on a heck of a show. I love that bordering of the punk and ska that they kind of had going in the early 90s. All the way up until the early 2000s. They had, was it Hella Good was, that song kind of got old pretty quick, but that was a fun song. Yeah, it kind of bummed me out. She went and did her own thing for a while, and some of her solo album stuff wasn't too bad. It was interesting. And then, I think she just does The Voice now, I think, right? And she's married to some country singer. And
he's on The Voice.
He's on The Voice, too. Name. So, I don't know. It also really bummed me out when I was looking these singers up. She's, I remember her, growing up, she was probably in her late 20s when I started listening to No Doubt. And now she's, in her early 50s, I think.
Yeah.
Late 40s. It's really depressing for me that I'm old. This keeps happening, Vinny. We're old.
With every year we
get a little bit older and a little bit older. Yeah. But no, I am hoping and praying, out of all the singers and bands I've talked about so far, No Doubt is one I wish they would get back together and release another album. I also was kind of a fan of her ex-husband's band, Bush, and then he kind of did her wrong too, and then I kind of fell off the Bush bandwagon because he seemed like kind of a jerk too. So, yeah, Gwen Stefani, great singer, great leader of a band, and you can't go wrong. Holla Back Girl, I still love that song. I will belt that song out in the car if I'm by myself. So
nice.
Yeah.
You also sing to songs too in the car by yourself.
I do. I got to make sure no one's looking at me from side to side, But
put your hand up over your mouth, so
yeah. I just go.
But if you think about it, if your windows are rolled up, they probably think that maybe you're talking on the phone.
I'm talking on the phone.
Closing your eyes and really getting into it.
I hope I'm not closing my eyes. It could be worse. They could either see me singing or seeing me scratch my nose like Seinfeld and thinking it was a pick. I mean, it's one or the other.
Pick.
Yes, it was all on the outside, I swear. So Gwen Stefani of No Doubt is my number 2.
Good one. I see a trend.
A trend,
yeah.
Kind of like that.
I don't know where number 1's gonna go, but
90s rock. Rock. Minus Heart. Heart kind of is the outlier there, but yeah. So there you go.
All right, good one. My number 2 is not in the 90s rock era, but it is a great singer, and she was teased on with Stranger Things this past season. I could not have disagreed with the song, or they're stating as the voice of an angel, but it is none other than Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, I did not okay, I thought you were going.
That one.
I didn't expect Ella Fitzgerald. I thought you were saying Kate Bush. I'm like, I honestly don't know any Kate Bush songs besides Running Up That Hill.
No, yeah, I don't know either. No, it is Ella Fitzgerald. she is great. Her voice is definitely that of an angel. The work she does with Louis Armstrong, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to play trumpet, that, and I couldn't play the saxophone. But she is phenomenal. Love pretty much any song that she puts out. I like it. I have it on my Spotify playlist somewhere. It is Ella Fitzgerald. I can't say enough about her. That she's just great. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, time for number ones, right?
Yep. Should we do? Do you want to go to the write-ins? I guess
the write-ins. Yeah, we had quite a few. Let me pull up. Oh, I accidentally closed my Google Drive account here. Hold on here.
I will start.
You start us off. Go ahead.
Yeah. Brian wrote in on Facebook. He said Gwen Stefani, Alicia Keys, and Pink. Those are all good ones.
Pink is one that I really liked. Like in middle school, I kind of got into listening to the pop music more, and I really liked Pink. She had some good songs.
Pink's really good. She was on my honorable mention. Almost made number 5, but yeah, she's good. She's got a lot of good songs that are kind of fun, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, I can I'm definitely okay with that. Dr. Mantis wrote in number 5, Rihanna. Number 4, Adele. Adele is a good one. I didn't even think about that. Number 3, Lady Gaga. Number 2, Avril Lavigne, Skater Boy. And number 1, just like you, Vinny, big fan of Whitney Houston. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you, Pretzel Vince, for the good choice on the Ella Fitzgerald. Thank you.
I thought he might like that one.
Yeah. The Adele. I think Adele's good, but my problem with Adele is she's overplayed, and that makes me dislike her.
I can totally understand that.
Her songs are very good, but they're overplayed so much. I just end up hating the songs so much.
Didn't she do a Bond song? I feel like Greg is screaming into his microphone right now.
She might have. I don't know.
Let me look. I feel like I can feel Greg's eyes staring at me right now whenever I bring up Bond.
Just burning right through you.
Bond and Adele. She did Skyfall.
Okay.
So there you go. I don't know if Skyfall is a good Bond movie, but
I think that was I didn't mind it. I also fell asleep during it. So
is that the one that's got Boris and the radar dish that they fight on top of and stuff?
Justin,
I'm just trying to piss Greg off. Sorry.
Justin, stop getting Bond wrong.
Perfect timing. Yeah. So.
Skyfall had Sean Connery in it.
Oh, okay. See, I thought it had
old Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it wasn't young Sean Connery because Adele wasn't alive then.
Now, is that also the one where Q and Moneypenny fight or something? I can't remember.
Stop getting Bond wrong.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on.
You're gonna kill Greg.
Greg is having a heart attack right now.
Yep. Jaybird writes in on the text line: Shania Twain, T. Swift, Avril Lavigne, Eva.
Oh, Evanescence! Wow,
Evanescence.
I haven't heard about them in a long time.
And Lady Gaga. I don't remember what songs Evanescence did.
They were like a rock band in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Let me see. Evanescence song. Oh, Bring Me to Life. Do you remember that song? My Immortal. I remember that one
I'm
too.
sure if I heard them, I'd recognize them, but those names don't.
2003 was when they had their big hits. It looks like. Okay. And I mean they've had albums since, but. All right, let me see. Who do we got here? Pretzel Vince writes in, and
hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
He says Diane Krall.
Diana Krall.
Diana Krall, sorry. Carrie Underwood, Jessie J, Candy Dulfer, Laura Nero, and Stevie Nicks. I only know 2 of those.
3 of those are like jazz musicians.
Okay, that's understandable then. That is understandable then. Very cool. I'm always down for some jazz, so I can get on board with that.
Yo.
All right.
Lynn writes in Carrie Underwood, Miranda Lambert, Taylor Swift, Loretta Lynn, Lynn Anderson, Aretha Franklin, Celine Dion, Karen Carpenter, and Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, yeah, Karen Carpenter of the Carpenters. I know their Christmas song. That's about all I know by them. But the other one she brought up, Celine Dion, I will admit, I would get so angry at Celine Dion as a kid because I just remember I got really into like VH1's Top 10 Countdown along with TRL. And I swear to God, that Celine Dion song from the Titanic, see, now we've come full circle, was like #1 for like a year and a half straight. And I'm like, I hate this song. I hate this video. Good Lord, give me something else. But she does.
Didn't they do like a bunch of clips from the...
Yes. It was just like the movie. That's all it was. And occasionally her singing. Although I will admit, she has a song, It's All Coming Back to Me, I think.
Yep.
It's literally
really
a song. Really good song. Really good song.
She's very good.
She is. And I want to say she did like not an internship, but whatever you want to call it in Vegas, where like she had a show there for a while, if I'm not mistaken. But let's see. Who's next? Is it Greg? Greg, right. All right.
Greg.
Okay. Greg says, my favorite female musicians are Avril Lavigne and the multi-talented Anna Kendrick. They are also happen to be my top celebrity crushes. I do know he is a big fan of Anna Kendrick.
Okay.
Yes. And I think she do the song Cups, I believe.
Yeah.
I think. Okay. And I know she's in what's those?
Pitch
Perfect. I have not seen any of those.
That's where that song's from.
Oh, well, there you go. I have not seen any of those movies, so I couldn't tell you.
I saw the first one. I was told it was really good. It was okay. I wasn't.
Oh.
People. Oh. It was kind of like you, Justin. People built it up, and it didn't.
What movie did I build up for you, Vinny?
No, it was just movies that get built up.
Get built up, and then I'm like, oh yeah.
Endgame. Was that got built up for you, and you didn't like it as much? You thought Justice League was better? Is that
no, well, I might have to revisit that one. I think Endgame might be the right choice on that one.
I think you need to revisit a lot of your decisions on the Marvel movies.
I have a lot of decisions in general I need to revisit.
Yes.
You want to go ahead? You want to do Erica's?
Yes. Erica writes in, I don't know what order here. No particular order. Missy Elliott, Lady Gaga, Gwen Stefani, Selena Gomez, Rihanna, honorable mentions, Avril, I'm guessing, is that Avril Lavigne?
Lavigne, yes.
Okay. Pop, Taylor Swift, Hannah Montana.
And I love that she wrote, yes, I know she's just a character, but she had some bops. I don't know.
How old is she?
I've never.
Bops?
I feel like oh man, we're gonna go to the club and listen. Oh man, those songs are bopping. You know, I don't know, but
yeah, that's something old people say.
Well,
back in my day, that song bopped.
It was Hannah. She is a big Hannah Montana fan. I have heard it blasting, when she's cleaning before. So I usually wear headphones when I clean, but she likes to just blast it out loud. So not necessarily conducive to the rest of the family in the home, but what are you gonna do?
No.
So Laura writes in and said, Haley Williams is my girl. Extra emphasis on the extra U's and R's and L's there. Haley Williams of Paramore. Good choice. Paramore is a good band. Misery Business. I will always love that song. That was probably 2007, 2008, roughly around there. And I want to say Laura is also a big Gaga fan. I'm surprised she didn't add that, but there you go.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Zach writes in Dr. Condom, the Lunachicks, the Bomb Pops.
Yep.
Yeah, wow, I'm having trouble reading here. Libby from the Bridge City Sinners, Escape from the Zoo, and Days. Yes. Dayz and Days, Daze.
I feel horrible. Zach always writes in and he's awesome, and I feel bad. I need to check out some of the music he's recommended because it's not stuff I'm familiar with. And I'll be honest, with a band name like the Lunachicks and a band name like the Bomb Pops, like I'm already sold. I need to check out and find out what those are. So,
I know what I'm listening to tomorrow.
Yes, I will. They
Don't
will
delete
be on
those because I'll have to listen to them.
We will leave. I will leave this open. Kevin writes in and he said Pat Benatar, and then. Nice. You want to take our third co-host?
Yes. Greg writes in 5 Carly
Simon.
This is in order. Yeah, I was like,
oh man,
I thought Carly Simon was a band name. Okay, 5 Carly Simon for Nobody Does It Better Alone. Pretty much Roger Moore's theme song.
Oh, there we go. I knew there was a Bond thing going there.
4 Kristen Maldonado from
Pentatonics.
Pentatonics.
I know. I want to say they're like the
they're an
acapella Christmas group or just group in acapella group in general.
Is Boner Champ in that one?
Yes.
Greg.
Here comes trouble, class of '93.
Right. She's 10 times better singer than those other fools. Number 3, Karen Carpenter.
Wow.
I did not see that one coming at all.
No.
Number 2, Avril Lavigne. And number 1, Michelle Branch. She was just arrested, too, for slapping the shit out of her cheating husband from the Black Keys. Good for her. Michelle Branch.
Yeah, I saw
is that Scary Spice?
No. Michelle Branch was a guitarist. She had a song with Santana when Santana was releasing songs with other popular singers like Rob Thomas and all that. I think it was called The Game of Love. And then she did her own thing. And I want to say she was in a duo band called The Wreckers, I believe, for a while. She's a really good guitarist. But yes, I did see that. I did not. I really liked the Black Keys. And then I saw that the guy from the Black Keys was her husband, and he was cheating on her with the nanny. So
not
shitty
good.
move, man. Yeah, and
yeah.
He's not a good looking dude, so I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, so there you go.
Interesting. Greg's honorable mentions are Haley Williams of Paramore, Amy Lee of Evanescence, Shirley Bassey of she did 3 Bond songs, Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, of course, and MR.
Mr. No? Not
no.
Mr. No.
How would you get Mr. No from MR?
MR, Mr.
It's
from
Dr.
Mr.
No, first of all. MR. Greg, I am sorry, but I do not know what MR stands for. I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Let's see. What do we got here?
Yeah, I don't have one.
Her Majesty? No, not Her Majesty.
No, it's
I don't
not
know.
Her Majesty's Secret Service, or I think something like that.
Is it Moonraker? Maybe
Moonraker. It's Moonraker. That's what it is. Thank you, Justin. Wow, good one, Justin.
That was courtesy of Google.
Days.
That was courtesy of Google.
Our all-time high, and shout out to the Olivia Rodrigo for Brutal. Used that song for a couple CTS intros.
Yes, for his countdown to the show, he liked that Olivia Rodrigo song, so we used that as the intro because it wasn't on YouTube, so I think we were able to get away with that. So there you go.
All right,
good stuff. Thank you to everybody who wrote in. I always love it when we get
you.
a big response like that. So
that's nice.
Do you want to do our number ones, or do you want to do our honorable mentions now?
We can do honorable mentions first.
Okay. You want me to go first?
Go ahead, Justin.
All right. I also had Michelle Branch. Joan Jett. Love Joan Jett. Stevie Nicks, fan. Lady Gaga, I'm not the biggest. I mean, her music's fine, but I think she's very talented in terms of just every song is just so very different than the other songs. I think that's pretty...
recent stuff, her early poppy stuff, I don't really care for.
And I do, after doing our little episode last week where we talked about Tony Bennett, I think it is so cool that they have toured together. Granted, not doing it now, but I don't know, the fact that she kind of makes that connection to older generations of musicians and stuff. I thought that was pretty neat. These other two, I will admit, I'm not a huge fan of their entire catalog. Maybe just a handful of songs, but when they come on the radio, watch out. The first one is Paula Abdul. You play some Straight Up for me. Oh my God, that song is my jam.
Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
All right, I love that. Is like your quintessential late 80s, early 90s. It might be a 90s song. I honestly don't know.
I think it's late 80s.
This other one, I'm kind of surprised nobody mentioned this one because, I mean, most people, if you would have asked people like 20 years ago, they probably would have brought her up. And that is Madonna. Like, there's a couple good Madonna songs I enjoy.
That was Madonna made my honorable mention.
Honorable mentions. I don't think anyone really cares for the song besides me, but Beautiful Stranger from the Austin Powers 2 soundtrack.
That's a good song.
It's a great song. That's a great song. You give me that, give me some Vogue. I'm there for that, so...
Yeah, I almost had Madonna in my top 5. Spoiler alert, she's not my number 1.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I know. But yeah, that one, she got bumped by Whitney Houston. So
you know what? Fair enough.
I think Madonna had the better catalog of songs, but I think Whitney Houston is more talented. But did you finish your honorable mentions, or did we just?
Yes, that was it. Sorry, that was it. Yep.
That's fine. I didn't know if I cut you off because we kind of got derailed there.
We got derailed by Madonna.
Yep.
Just keep it going. Keep it going.
Yep. My honorable mention: Stevie Nicks, the Spice Girls, Madonna, Ann Wilson of Heart, Celine Dion, Janet Jackson, Dolly Parton, Aretha Franklin, Monique Powell of Save Ferris, Billie Holiday, Miranda Lambert, Pink, and Salt and Peppa.
Nice.
I can't believe no one had Salt and Peppa.
No, you know what? Another one too that I just realized that we hadn't even thought about is I really like TLC too when they were in their glory days.
I totally
TLC was pretty good. And I still I haven't seen the movie in a while, but the movie The Other Guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. I love Michael Keaton's character as I believe he's the police chief. Is he police chief?
Or he's
like commissioner or something?
Lieutenant.
And every time he's talking, he keeps referencing all these TLC songs. And I think, is it Mark Wahlberg or Will Ferrell's like, all right, what the hell, man? Like, you've never heard of
probably
TLC?
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Mark Wahlberg because he was like I feel like he was level-headed. Like everything else was like really weird to him. Like it was weird to everybody, but he was the only one picking up on that stuff in the movie.
Because I want to say like Michael Keaton's like, all right, you gotta be careful. I don't want you creeping around. And they're like, what? He goes, yeah, go chasing them. Don't go chasing waterfalls. And he's like, all right, shit, dude, come on. I know what you're doing. He's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, TLC is another good one. But
nice.
Yeah, good choices.
All right,
good
Justin.
Choices. All right, so my number one, it's not Shirley Manson, it's not Hart, not Sheryl Crow, not Gwen Stefani. It is Alanis Morissette.
Ah, there we go.
Another
90s.
You can see a very, very strong theme that I'm still trying to break out of. We need to bring back musical mayhem again to break me out of that. But Alanis Morissette. What more is there to say? Even she had a new album come out last year or 2 years ago that wasn't too bad. But going all the way back to You Ought to Know, we learned that Dave Coulier is obviously a horrible boyfriend, apparently, in that song, because that supposedly is written about him. Uninvited, Thank You. There's so many songs. She had a greatest hits album. I want to say a little while ago, but it was probably like 15 years ago. That was really good. Awesome. I also think it's really cool that the late Taylor Hawkins was her drummer, and then he left her band to go play for the Foo Fighters when Dave Grohl asked him. Hand in My Pocket. Ironic is just like, I remember listening to that song a ton in grade school. That was a song everybody played. And kind of a cool video too with the four of her in the car singing and stuff like that. So that is my number one, Alanis Morissette, the Canadian rocker herself.
Nice. Good one.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of good 90s songs in there.
Yes, yeah.
Well, Justin, you want to guess my number one?
Give me a decade. At least narrow down a decade for me.
Current.
It's current.
This person's current, yeah.
I'm gonna go
genre?
with Billie Eilish.
No,
I have no idea.
It is. You wouldn't have guessed this either.
Country singer? Is it a country singer?
No, it's.
Thank God.
She's a kind of blues rocky singer. It is none other than Susan Tedeschi.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, she is. I'm not surprised, Justin.
Other breaking news. Water.
We just got through how my whole list is like 90s rockers besides Heart, and no shit, I didn't know this one. Yeah.
Yes. But yes, she is actually she's a blues guitarist. She kind of I've read that she's kind of got like a Buddy Guy type of kind of rhythm to her guitar playing, but her work in the Tedeschi Trucks band, which is her and her husband Derek Trucks. I don't know if that name rings a bell. Derek Trucks?
No, it does not.
You really need to open up your listening on music.
I do. You're not wrong.
They're really good. They're just kind of like a bluesy rock band. A lot of their songs, if you go on Spotify and just play through their popular songs, they're all really great. One of my favorite songs, they do a collaboration. The Tedeschi Trucks band does a collaboration with Herbie Hancock, not John Hancock, but Herbie Hancock. and it's Space Captain. It's phenomenal. She does vocals on the song. It's absolutely phenomenal. Great song. The original is great. I forgot who does the original one. But yeah, Space Captain by Susan Tedeschi, Derek Trucks, and Herbie Hancock. Check it out on Spotify. You won't be disappointed.
You're gonna have to give me a list of like Spotify groups to check out. I feel like I need to get on the Spotify bandwagon, because the problem is when I drive to work, I listen like a combination of the alternative rock station that plays some new alternative rock and then mostly stuff from the 90s and 2000s, or I listen to sports radio, and then or a podcast. And then if I'm really jonesing for music, I just plug my iPod from 2008 in, and it's just all the stuff I've owned for the last 25 years. So I'm not breaking in. I'm not. Yeah, I need to update and get into Spotify. Especially, I mean, you don't do the pay version, do you?
No, I just do the free one. And
yeah, that's kind of what I've always
stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me, because I would do that at work. I'd play music for the kids. I would have like a list of music I knew that was safe to play for them, but I never really like branched out from that. So I'll have to.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to send me a list.
The thing with Spotify is the Discover Weekly, where they pick like random songs and stuff. Like some of them are bad, but usually I can find a couple gems on a weekly basis. There's been a couple weeks where like 2 or 3 weeks, and it's like a bunch of not the band garbage.
Not the band garbage.
Not stuff I really like or stuff I've heard before. I just kind of skip through it. But I found some new music to listen to. But Susan Tedeschi actually found out through my wife. She's a big Derek Trucks fan. Okay. And so yeah, once I think she knew of Susan Tedeschi through Derek, being a fan of Derek Trucks. So yeah, I really like that music. Blues is kind of my go-to music. So blues and rock mixed together is great. But nice. Yes, Justin, I recommend listening to that song Space Captain.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that a listen, and I'll definitely give the new stuff you can experience. That's not bad. I need to branch out. I need to get out of the 90s and 2000s. It's 2022.
Yes, it is, Justin.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, and you're what, 34 years old now?
35. I wish I was 34.
35. Sorry, you look like you're 25. So
it's true. I just shaved today before the podcast, so I hadn't shaved all week. I had
peach fuzz.
I had a 5 o'clock shadow. So after a week,
after a full week. Go.
So yes, no. All right. Well, I got it. I think that does it for whatever. Thank you to everybody who wrote in. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you are listening and you want to text us or write in your favorite female musician or band or group, let us know. We will bring those up again next week. No problem at all with that. What else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. Am I missing something, Vinny?
I was going to say, should we just do Musical Mayhem for next week? I can pick out the songs right now.
Sure. Do you want to announce what they are now?
Well, why
or do you want to wait?
I already have them up after you said that we should do another one. I was like, you know what? Let's just pick that and let's just do it.
All right, give it to me. All right, so live on the air, Musical Mayhem draft picks.
Live
here we
on
go.
The air. So we have here, actually, Justin, this is this probably isn't good for you because it's not branching out too much. We have, for the 5 artists, it is Jimmy Buffett, Jimi Hendrix,
okay,
Nirvana,
Neil
Young, which I don't know if you're
Neil
Young's
not
listen
bad.
to Neil Young on Spotify, if that's where you listen
No,
to
you're
music,
right.
I think
I like
he's off of Spotify.
Rockin' in the Free World.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Number 5, I don't know who the heck this is. So this is great. But it is Bonobo.
Bono?
Bonobo. It's not Bono. It's Bonobo.
Bonobo.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
All right,
we're gonna see if they're on. I mean, Neil Young, you can find his music.
Oh
anywhere.
Yeah, you can go on YouTube or Apple or something.
Bonobo. Oh no, he is an artist. Oh, this is not going to be good.
No, I'm just picturing your dad listening to Bonobo.
It's yeah. I don't know what kind of music this is going to be. It looks like it's just going to be. One of the radio stations he's featured in on Spotify is Chill Vibes, so
I might dig it.
Maybe it could be good. Maybe it
can't be any worse than Tyler the Creator. Let's put it that way.
It's going to be instrumental, I think. So
okay.
It could be interesting. But yeah, Bonobo. is number 5. So Jimmy Buffett, Jimi Hendrix, Nirvana, Neil Young, and Bono Bo for Musical Mayhem next week.
That's a pretty interesting list. I think we should be able to get some good feedback because that Nirvana one's going to be tough to narrow down for me. I'm not going to lie. Jimi Hendrix, there's a really good instrument. He's got a lot of great songs, and he's got a really good instrumental that I love. So I might need to revisit that. All right, well, let's kick the. Whoop, that's not the right music. Oh boy, man, Bono Bo would not be happy with me. Let's try this again. There we go. All right. Let me lower this down a little bit. All right, so. Once again, if you've been listening to the show, thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you want to leave us a comment, you can, again, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/baseball and whatever. Leave us a comment. We'll read it on the air. You can text us at 1-913-808-3278. That number, again, is 1-913-808-FART. Accidentally did that out of order. Sorry, Vinnie. You can also tweet us at Baseball and What. Email us baseballandwhatever@gmail.com. Make sure to download and subscribe to the podcast. If you're on Apple or Spotify, please leave us a review, 5 stars preferably. We'd appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, like our stuff, share it, subscribe. That would also help us a ton. We thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back next week with Baseball and Whatever, and more importantly, the second version of Musical Mayhem with Jimmy Buffett, Jimi Hendrix, Nirvana, Neil Young, and the illustrious Bono Bo. All right, on that note, take care, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we will see you, we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
See ya.